Hello, my name is Lydia Sapronova. I am pleased to present my masterclass on this beautiful, elegant headband. We'll need the following materials. Let's get started. First, we sew a Swarovski crystal to the base. This is an wet crystal, 15 mm by 7 mm. I'm using felt for the base. I've already marked the center lines. I'll be sewing using a double file line thread. I arrange the crystal in the center and sew it to the base through the holes. Now we sew the Swarovski Chaton Montes 4 mm. Next we sew the pearls in pairs. We sew one bead at a time, 3 mm by 4. Now we add the Swarovski rivoli stones. For this we take 36 delica beads and tie a knot. We pass through the bead next to the knot and add another through the next bead and so on. After completing that row, we come to the next and use size 15 beads. Because the beads are smaller size, the weave starts to contract. We weave 2 rows. Next, we pass the thread through the beads on the outermost row. We insert the Swarovski rivoli stone, pressing it in, and weave 2 rows of size 15 beads. Tighten the weave. We sew the rivoli in the center, 1–2 mm from the beads. We then sew it to the base through the beads of the last row. We thread the tail and through the needle and pass it through the beads to the other side. Tie a knot and cut off any excess thread. Now we sew the 10 white preciosa beads around the rivoli. After that, we sew on the 4 mm Swarovski chaton montis and sew little white beads around them. We then glue the cabochons 16 mm by 12 with transparent glue and leave them to dry. We weave the cabochons like a mosaic. First we sew the main row just like we sewed the delica beads around the rivoli. Please note that number of beads in the main row must be even, that is, they can be divided by 2. Once the main row is complete, we take another bead and pass the thread through a bead in the main row to start making a second row. After that row, we weave 2 rows of size 15 beads, which should end up like this. Next we make the base for the 12 mm rivoli. We do this the same way we did the base for the 14 mm rivoli. The only difference is that the main ring must have 32 beads. We then sew the rivoli to the center of the base and sew size 10 white beads around it. Now we sew beads 3 mm by 4 around the cabochon in a single row with a double thread, and around them we once again sew white size 10 beads. Sew the beads and the smaller white beads around the center crystal. Because we are going to glue the embroidered section to a curved headband, spaces will appear. We'll fill them by sewing in white size 15 beads. After that, we glue a cabochon 14 mm by 10 mm on either side, and sew another mosaic weave, 1 row of delica beads and 2 rows of size 15 beads. Around that we sew more white size 10 beads. We carefully cut away the excess felt, so as not to cut the thread we use when we're sewing, leaving about 1 mm. We now strengthen the embroidery with paper. Mark the center of the headband. We cut out a piece of leather, 20 cm by 4 cm, and mark the center. Because the embroidery is 18 cm, I make a mark on the leather 7 cm from the center. You'll see why in a moment. We make a small incision for the headband to slip through. We insert the headband and line up the center of the band with the center of the leather and glue them together. Now we glue the embroidery to the headband, making sure it is centered, and press firmly. Then we cut away the excess leather. Now we come to the final seam. We pass the thread through the leather and hide the knot between the felt and the leather. We make a loop and tighten the thread. We take one purple size 10 bead and pass the needle through the two layers. The bead remains on the left. We make a loop and pass the needle through it and pull the thread tight. We sew like this all the way around. And there you have it, the headband is ready. Thank you for watching. Until next time!